Hello everybody. Welcome back to Birth to Work. It's Emmanuel, and you'll see mommy in a bit. But it's a weekday morning, and before we both get to work, we want to talk to you a little bit for you to meet the family, meet the kids, and also share our secret with you, how and why we do what we do. So come with me, and we're gonna get started shortly. So while the kids are here eating breakfast, just want to talk to you really quickly. As you see, 4 kids, 10 years of parenting, almost 12 years of marriage. And one question that I get a lot is, how do y'all do it? I think as people look at us and 4 kids under 10,
and we had 4 kids in 5 years, mind you.
Absolutely.
That was crazy.
Very, very
Don't
crazy.
try that at home.
Particularly, on a job or other places when they meet the kids and they seem to be well behaved in public, at least.
Yes.
The question always comes, how do y'all do it? And I think for us, there is no secret sauce. But what we have done is we have been able to identify what our family values are. So we've been, for us, on this journey, and we have quite a ways to go, but I think we're proud of where we are and how far we've come so far. And for us, we attribute a lot of that to being able to clearly identify what it is that is important to us and how that is going to drive what we do as a family. So, family values. Why is it important to have family values? Because we think it's critically important. And every good business has values. I've been fortunate to work for companies in the past who have had clear values that drive almost everything that is done within a company. And so we believe that every family that's going to be successful as well has to have those clear values that drives sort of their activities and what it is that they do. All right. So for us, we have been able to boil down our values into 3 categories, or into 3 to share with you today. It's not typically how we view it or have it written around. With your values, family values, it's not something that has to be, fancy in a way. Again, just identifying between you as a couple, as a family, what it is that's important. And actually write it down so you can refer back to it and in a sense hold yourself accountable. And so for us, those 3 values that are really important and drive what we do are, we've been able to nail it down to 3 F's.
Yeah, we put it together for you guys in this, this format.
Yeah. And those are faith, family, and financial stewardship. Faith, family, and financial stewardship. Those 3 are, to us, highly important, and again drive almost everything that we do. All right. So faith. We are Christians, and we believe in Jesus Christ. And so for us, much of, and I would say all of what we do is really driven out of that.
Yes, basically the foundation for everything that we do. How we treat one another, how we raise our children, how we treat people in our community is all based on what the Bible and what Jesus teaches. And that's been the foundation for, kind of encompasses everything that we believe and all the values, really.
Yeah, and so the standards that we, as she said, look to uphold with one another, and as we raise our children, all of that comes out of that faith. And our decision to homeschool our children has a lot to do with our faith and what we believe and how we should be operating in terms of what we want to accomplish with our children. And so there's a lot of things that, again, that are tied in everything to our faith. So for us, the first and most important foundation is our faith. Secondly, we have family. And family, we'll break it down into 3 ways, but family is really important. It's huge in terms of what we do. And so the way we'll break it down is the relationship for us as a husband and wife, the relationship with our children, so from parents to children, and then thirdly, the children amongst each other, so the siblings and their relationship our hope, our goal is to be able to operate in a way where we establish and continue to feed meaningful relationships in these 3 areas. And so for us as a couple, we really love to do things together.
Yeah.
We really love to be a unit in all that we do. We gotta, being united, staying united is important. United against the children in many ways.
I know, we gotta, yes.
Gotta be united.
They will try to say, Mommy said, Daddy said.
Yeah, I know how it goes.
Yes.
For us, being a unit is important. But how we do that, again, we like to do everything together. We like to go a lot of places together, whether it's parties, we do a lot of things together, and we actually like spending time. We actually like each other, and so that's something
Most
that
of the time.
we want to have structured our sort of life as a couple. Is for us in hopes that we will continue to be emotionally connected, that we would bond and build that relationship that allows us always to be a tight unit.
Yes, not only unity amongst us, unity amongst the children, and unity amongst one another, and that's why, we enjoy having them in the home together the majority of the time. That's part of why we homeschool. There's so many reasons why we do, but family is important to us, and it's important that they are also united and they are also connected and they also have their own relationships.
Important. And lastly, the relationship between the children and the parents. For us, how we have aimed to have meaningful relationships with the children is really, really important. I think for us, being both from Ghana, how we were raised in a way where our culture, in terms of from our parents, were really part of obviously how we were raised, and that's Ghana, West Africa, not Guyana.
Yes, not Guyana, South America.
How we relate to our kids is really important to us. I think we both grew up wishing that we would have had maybe closer relationships with our parents, if you will. There's, and we know that in our culture there is that parent-child relationship, and so it's clear. But for us, being able to be, and mommy being a first-generation American, Ghanaian American, being born here, me being born in Ghana, and great to blend our Ghanaian culture and our American culture to kind of figure out what it looks like for us to raise our kids and have those meaningful relationships with them. So sometimes it can be tight in terms of toting that line between being friends and sharing kind of things, information and fun with them that we didn't have growing up, perhaps, and then making sure that they're clear on the lines of respect, parent to child. There is your place and we have our place, and so knowing how to do that well can be a challenge sometimes, but it's fun, it's great. But we do love how we've been able to create, at least so far, these meaningful relationships that we want to continue to build on even through their adult years. We do. And then lastly, financial stewardship. And this is a big one, y'all, because we know that money make the world go round, right? Or, nah, I'm kidding. We know that the more money you have,
no, it's not more problems.
But we know that most one of the top reasons for divorce is money.
Yeah, financial issues. Yep.
And so for us, I think we have been determined since the very beginning to make sure that our money was right, that we were on the same page when it came to financial things, and we were managing our money in a way. We say stewardship because it's about managing our money, all that comes in, viewing it from a faith-based perspective, and then doing the right things with our money. So I think we've been able to, I think 5 years ago or so, we were able to pay off all of our debt, student loans and consumer debt, and to get rid of that burden.
Yeah,
money can be a barrier if you allow it in many ways. And
yeah, it can be a barrier to the other values that we have, because, if we need to work a lot, or if both of us had to work full time, because right now I'm a nurse and I work, very part-time, just a few times a month. And then Emmanuel, is the one who's the primary person who goes out to work. And we've been able to do that. And the reason why we do that is because we wanted, one of us to be the main person in the home with the kids, and so we can encourage this
influence
this family lifestyle that we wanted to have from the beginning. And in order to do that, we had to get our finances in order. And so that really has helped us to be able to do other things, and that's been important for us.
Yeah. So for us, that means living on a budget.
Right.
All right, budgeting our money. Also for us, that means not spending on things that we would maybe like to have, but we know as we're stewards of our money, now is not the time for certain things.
Right.
And so, y'all, I got a iPhone 5, y'all. iPhone 5. Not because I can't afford it. A lot of things that we have decided to forego. It's not because we can really afford almost anything we want, and whether you're talking about payments or whatever. But we, at least for me, at least with the phone, tech is not that important to me, and I can do anything and everything on this phone. So why go spend additional $1,000 on a new phone just to upgrade? So we decided we're not gonna keep up with the Joneses.
Yeah. And it's not that we don't like nice things. I mean, we like nice things, just like anybody. We just decided that it was more important for us to focus on our family, focus on our faith, and so that has driven how we manage our money and why we don't maybe buy the things that we would be able to afford with a double income household. And I don't know, maybe what else do you have to say about that?
Yeah, I think one example. I remember some time ago when we were looking for a new car, in the market for a new car, and mommy thought she was so cool that a minivan was not cool enough for her. So we were thinking at that point about an SUV. We know SUVs not only cost more but gas guzzlers, and so when we really looked at it, we decided minivan was the best option.
When we looked at that sticker price and we looked at what we wanted to do with our lives, we said, I'll take the minivan.
She didn't want to be a soccer mom. Nothing wrong with soccer moms. That's what it is. But she realized that for our values and what it meant for us, that was the best decision, and it's perfectly fine. So for us, what we do with our money has been something that we've consistently talked about and made sure that we manage it well, because it's important. Again, as all three values are really wrapped into one another.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. And although you don't necessarily need to, write down these values, it's really a good idea to do that. But it doesn't have to be like that. But you should have a conversation with your spouse or your potential spouse. That's even the most important time to have this conversation before you come together with somebody into a marriage relationship. To kind of define what is valuable to you, what are the things that are important to you, and to discuss them and come to an agreement or an understanding of each other's values so you can align them, because everything that you do will come from those values. You need to have like a standard that you guys come back to in order to
operate as a unit.
Yeah, to operate as a unit.
Yeah, and so what happens if you find yourself in a situation where you and your maybe partner's values don't quite align and y'all are not getting matching in terms of family values? That's another video for another time.
Yes.
But it's really important. So this is a good opportunity to come back to the table with your spouse or potential spouse and reevaluate, where are you with your values? How are you doing and carrying them out? Where do you need to make some adjustments? Because part of this thing, we grow and we mature throughout this journey. So there is a lot of evaluating and reevaluating that has to happen.
Yeah.
Come back to the table. Because as we change, some things may change with it, but the main thing is being in agreement about what those values are, so that we can, again, not only hold each other accountable, but together be pursuing those things that will take us there. So critically important, I think. So I think, again, I started out by saying, a lot of people always say, how do y'all do it? Especially when they find out that, not only are the kids young, but then we homeschool on top of it, which is really crazy. And then mom, you've been also working outside the home on top of homeschooling and all that. So it's really crazy and challenging, this thing that we're doing, as you all know for yourselves. But we can really say these values that we have aligned on and continue to live by I think that's the secret to our success as a family, and
Yeah.
will continue to be. No matter what we do, we know that it has to be out of those three values,
Right.
and value streams.
And it's not that there won't be times where we reevaluate those values and see what's important depending on what stage in life we are in. And you know, there have been times where we did not have the same values, especially like when it came to like finances.
Oh yeah, let me tell them real quick about how Mama used to think, you know, as a working professional earning her money, she was entitled to spend that thing. You know, we make money to spend it, and I have a different school of thought. And so, but we had to come to an agreement about, okay, yeah, we can, you know, me as the tighter one and her as the free spending one. We had to really come to a middle ground. But anyway, yeah, you may not always agree.
Another video for another time.
You may not always agree, but I think coming to an agreement once you talk through it,
Right.
Will be.
And defining what we wanted, you know, out of this marriage,
Yeah.
out of this family life, and you know, once we thought about what our common goal was, that's where our values, you know, came from, and that really has helped us to kind of walk peacefully together and have like a good relationship.
Yeah,
As we
yeah.
have a common goal, we share these values, or we've agreed on these values, and they guide everything that we do.
Yeah. So that's our secret. Family values, very important. So if you don't have yours in line yet, make sure you get it together in terms of identifying what it is with your somebody that whoever you're dating or in a married relationship with. All right, so
Yeah, let's make that a challenge to you guys. If you haven't, if you're in a relationship, you're not married yet, we challenge you to discuss with your potential mate, your potential spouse, what your values are. Talk about them, and that will also, you know, bring up a lot of things that you might need to hash out. If you're already a family, already married, you know, and you haven't really defined what your values are, we challenge you. We challenge you to think about those things, discuss them, challenge one another on your thoughts, and come to a consensus, come to an agreement on how you guys are going to move forward as a family.
Yeah.
And we challenge you, and we believe that if you do that, you will see successes in your family and marriage life.
So if you have any questions for us, please feel free to drop it in the comment section below. We would love to hear any questions that you might have about what we said or didn't say. And if you have any personal questions, you'll see our email address down below. Send us an email with any questions or comments. We'll be happy to make some time to respond. But we'd love to hear from you around family values. Please, so drop us a note and let us know what you think as well. All right. And if you haven't subscribed yet, make sure you do, because we have some great content coming up.
Yes.
I know this is just the beginning for us, so we're really excited to bring you some more great content. So
and hit the notification bell so you can also be notified whenever we upload a new video.
Yeah, make sure you also share with anybody
Yes.
and everybody who can use this information. All right, so thanks for joining us this morning. Definitely worth the work of putting in time to identify your values and to live by them. All right, so we'll talk to you later. Take care.
Thank you.